Hello everyone, this is my first video on YouTube. Well, let's just say it's my first video on YouTube, but uh, yeah, my name's Stuart. I'm a lifelong Everton fan, and yeah, I don't really know where I'm going with this YouTube channel, but I thought I'll just make one, and I like making videos, I like talking about things, I've got a big opinion on things, so yeah, so I thought I'll make a YouTube about everything and anything and see where it goes. But today we are talking about the Merseyside derby. Like I said, I'm a lifelong Everton fan. I've grew up supporting the team through a lot of rough times to be fair, especially the past few years. But yeah, let's stop talking about that. We're talking about the Merseyside derby, and yeah, it was a good point for us. We were lucky to get away with one. Uh, we possibly should have lost the game. Let's just say that. Yeah, thank you VAR for once. To be fair, this season we've been quite lucky with VAR. I feel like things have gone our way. Um, but yeah, look, all banter aside, Liverpool should have won the game. They was the strongest side throughout most of the game. To be fair, we've had our little flashes, but yeah, at the end of the day, they should have won. I don't understand VAR. I think most of us can't stand it. I think it's ruined the game. I feel like they should have tested it a lot more, and had loads of fans' opinions and just, I don't know, maybe some tester games, like some friendlies live on TV, so we can all have our opinion about it. There should be like a questionnaire, and yeah, maybe it would have been better doing it that way, because I just feel like they are sticking to the rules too much. And yeah, it's ridiculous, isn't it? It's ridiculous. Like, if that happened to Everton, I would have been absolutely fuming, especially when we haven't beat Liverpool for 10 years. A goal like that given away, and obviously much deserved victory for Liverpool would have been. It's been snatched away from them. Listen, it's just one of them. It's just one of them, and you can't really do anything about it now till the rules get changed. And I don't know how long that's going to be, but I'm hoping it's soon, because it's going to bite us back. Um, Something's going to happen to Everton possibly in the next game with the likes of Danny Ings for Southampton. He always scores against us, but yeah, listen, it's Liverpool didn't get any luck at that game. They didn't, but it happens. They might get a lot of luck in the next game. You never know. Uh, but it's one of them. And listen, I'm not going to be celebrating the draw, because before the game, and I just wanted to win. Let's just put it as that. We haven't beat them in 10 years, and I didn't want to draw. I didn't want to lose. I wanted to win. But overall, when you look at the game, we shouldn't have got a point. So I'll take it, and obviously then it carries on with our unbeaten run. So I'm not going to complain. But sitting top of the league, 4 wins, 1 draw, absolutely fantastic. Like I said, it was our worst game of the season, and yes, it was probably, it was against the best opposition we've played this season. And unfortunately, it still shows the massive scale we have between ourselves and Liverpool. So yeah, listen, it's a learning curve, and it's obviously, it's something that we're just gonna have to work on, and see. We are now competing against the top 6 teams. Yes, we should have lost, but we didn't. you know, that's just the way it is. And like I said, when we played Tottenham, we beat them, and obviously now look at them. Even though they drew tonight 3-0 against West Ham, crazy goal at the end. But yeah, uh, we're competing against these teams, and that's what I'm happy about. I didn't expect us to be starting off like this season. I thought 3 players won't make a massive difference. Obviously, Godfrey's just come on now, came to us, so it's 4 players. But at the start, 3 players I didn't think would change the team massively, but I've been proven wrong. So yeah, and to discuss about the goals, I think, listen, sometimes you just can't stop good movements and good play from the opposition. And I think Mane's goal was a great goal. Obviously, when you ever concede a goal, you look at the negatives, and that's because we want to improve, and that's what every team does. Um, but sometimes it just happens, and that's just the way it is. It was a good move. I don't think we was alert enough, and they punished us. And I don't know who said it, but I heard that someone said on YouTube maybe that Marnie doesn't really put them away as much as he should. He normally, he doesn't do one touch finish goals. You know what I mean? It's normally like a Salah kind of thing or Firmino, but Marnie to put it away, it's good for them, and it was a good goal, and 1-0 down after 2 minutes, and I thought to myself, here we go again. And then the Pickford situation. Listen, obviously we all know. Well, obviously we don't know. Like, some players might have that intent to go and hurt someone. I haven't got a clue, but I can't imagine Pickford wanting to do that. I just think he's an idiot. He's very rash, and he just loses his head. And listen, it just he was going for the ball, and when you watch the replays, you can see Van Dijk's face knowing that this is going to be bad. It's not going to end well. And yeah, he's now injured, and he's done his ACL in. Well, he hasn't done it himself. Pickford done it, but yeah, he's out for possibly the rest of the season. So, listen, I'm not a big admirer of Van Dijk. I don't really like the guy. There's a few players in Liverpool I don't like. He's one of them. But listen, I wouldn't wish anyone to get injured. He's deserved his success in the past couple of years with Liverpool. He's changed them completely with Alisson at the back. So, I'm not gonna be horrible about it, like, to him. Like, I'm not gonna just laugh about it or something. I'm not like that. I'm not made up that he's injured, but he's like, listen, at the end of the day, I just want him to, recover from it, and yeah, just carry on playing his football and just not play well against us. But yeah, that happened, and to be fair, it should have been a red card. No matter if the whistle blew up or not, yes, it was offside, but it's like, if that happened in the middle of the park, I still think there would have been a card branded. And I just think he thought he probably couldn't give him a card, because if you're going to give him a card but then not give the penalty, it's a bit strange, and it's a bit of a weird decision. That's what they're probably thinking. But to me, it's a really bad challenge, and it could have been a career-ending challenge. So yes, I do think Pickford should be punished, and to be fair, I would rather him get punished, because I don't really want him between the sticks, because he is all over the place at the moment. But what can you do? What can you do? He's going to be there till he gets injured. So yeah, there's nothing we can do about it. But yeah, so then Keane scored for Everton. Yeah, just a pretty simple goal, really. Just a crossing a corner, and then he heads it in, and it was between Adrian's hands. Now, to be fair, goalkeepers are supposed to have really good reflexes and whatnot. Possibly could have saved it, it's a 50-50, innit? When it comes straight out, yeah, he got his hands up, which shows, he was ready for it, but he just couldn't get it. So it's just one of them. But made up for Michael Keane, he's played absolutely fantastic this season up to now. I'm always a bit nervous with Michael Keane. He can have a great stretch of games playing out of his skin and then fall apart. And that's Michael Keane, to be fair, for his career. He's just inconsistent. But I'm hoping for him. He seems like he really enjoys playing for us. He's really happy at the club. And fair plays to him. I just hope he carries on. I'm not expecting him to play great every game, but I would like him to be a bit more consistent. But yeah, made up for him. And it was 1-1. And then yeah, it's one of them. Like Liverpool just kept pressing, um, and you know that's it's what it's you can't really you can't really compete against Liverpool with the players they've got. We've improved this season, but we've still nearly got the same 11 who finished 12th last season. So we are nowhere near Liverpool in regards to ability and depth of squad and that. So you can compete to a certain level, but you've got to be aware that if you start pushing your men forward and going for the win and whatnot, they've got players who can just counter attack. Yeah, they're just deadly. So we have to not say give them respect, but we just let them. I feel like what we kind of do is like we let them play out. Once they get to the last third of the pitch, that's when we start pressing them. But it can be a dangerous game. They can score from anywhere. So and it only takes one good ball to go to Salah, Firmino, and Mane, and they will. Well, I don't know about Firmino, but they will score. So yeah. Anyway, so I can't really remember most of the chances. I was working when this was on, so I was seeing flashes, and I've obviously seen the highlights as well. I've seen enough to make me think how the game panned out, and I've read a lot of reports as well. But yeah, and obviously half time came, and I was just thinking, you know, it just feels like you just don't know. We just don't know with Everton. Like, it's 1-1, but you're feeling a bit iffy, because especially with the first 10, 15 minutes, our defence just looked shaky. Liverpool's getting through too many times. And I just feel like they was just unlocking the door and they're going to run away with it, to be fair. But it didn't pan out that way. So after the break, I'm sure we came close with a chance from who missed. I think Dominic Calvert-Lewin was close. I think he just missed the ball or something, or he was stretching and he couldn't finish a good move off from Everton. And then there's a couple other chances from them, and then God, I'm trying to think. My head's a bit rattled. It was just a crazy game, and there's a lot that has happened today in the Premier League, and my mind's all over the place. But and then Liverpool score from Salah. Good goal, but Mina again, like Keane, probably a bit worse than Keane. Like, he's more inconsistent. And for him to just back heel the clearance. So the ball was in the box and he back heeled it where he could have put his laces through it and used his other foot. And he didn't. And gone possibly to the worst player on the pitch. You'd want to be on the edge of the box or just inside the box is Mo Salah. And obviously it went to him and he finished it off great. Fantastically well. And we was 2-1 down. I was thinking, we just don't look like we've got the players and the energy to turn us around, especially with the threat they have up front. Like I said before, the counter attack, they could just sit back and we're guns and blazing going for it, and they're just going to punish us on the break. So yeah, but it didn't turn out that way. And also as well, just before we actually scored, Pickford made a fantastic save. Now, the problem with Pickford is he makes these ridiculous saves. He does well when he shouldn't be saving something. Like, when it comes to hard chances, like hard saves, he does them well. But when it comes to simple saves or simple things to do as a goalkeeper, he can't do it. But what can you do? He's still between the sticks, and we just got to deal with it. And hopefully, I don't think he's like a bad goalkeeper. Like, I remember him saying in an interview a while back, mentally, that's his best, skill, is his mental awareness and mental what and everything. His mentality and mentally dealing with the games and dealing with the pressure and whatnot. I just think that's a load of horse radish, you know what I mean? That's possibly the worst thing he has for his game. Like he's dead rash of everything. He lets the occasion get to him. Like especially when we played Newcastle away last year, I think it was, and he was just like having a go at the crowd all the time. And I was like, what are you doing? Anyway, off Pickford. I feel like I'm talking too much about him. So yeah, it's a fantastic save though. You know, credit where it's due. So as Matip, you know, when he come back into the squad as well, I was going Matip and Virgil van Dijk, like they've literally got the partnership, which a lot of my Liverpool mates think that's their best partnership. And to be fair, I do agree. I do not feel like Gomez is all that. I feel like he loses his head a bit. And then yeah, Dominic Calvert-Lewin. What is going on? This guy is turning into like Ronaldo or something. Like the leaps. Like I've always knew he's good at heading, and I always knew he's got a good leap on him. But it was just Ronaldo-esque. The way he jumped up and nodded that in, like it was just fantastic. And again, Lucas Dean, you know, he didn't have much crosses in the game. He you know, he was great defensively, but he wasn't all there offensively. And the one moment he got in behind Trent Arnold, he whipped a beautiful ball in, and DCL's on the end of it, and it was 2-2, and I couldn't believe it. I was absolutely buzzing. I was screaming in work. Yeah, I was working just for one shift at this place, and I didn't care, you know, I didn't care. I just gone, yes, like that. All the customers looking. I don't know if they was looking at me, but they probably was looking at me because I was just like, get in. There's only a couple of Everton fans in the room. But I didn't care, you know, emotions get the best of you, and it does, you know. It was great just to see that Everton hit back at Liverpool twice, you know what I mean? You know, we could have dropped our heads, which we did a lot last season, but we fought back and we never gave up. And we always believe in ourselves that, you know, we are a decent side and we can compete against these teams. We might not be as good as these teams, but we can compete. But yeah, the goal was fantastic. But in the back of my mind, I've had hope with Everton before a lot of the time, and they always don't, you know, live up to that. They don't. There's always something happens with Everton. You know, we could be winning, like when Newcastle last year was winning 2-0, and no other team in the Premier League would have thought Newcastle was going to score 2 goals in injury time. And it happened. There's that much that happened last season. You could just say every time, well, that's Everton for you. So obviously this season's different. You know, we've won 7 games in a row. We've played some good football as well, and we've got some decent signings. But you just think same old Everton. And yeah, all I could think was this: Liverpool's just going to score a winner. And yeah. So obviously Liverpool are going to be pressing us for the last 10 minutes. We're just going to have to hold on because, you know, Liverpool are not going to want to lose 7-2 to Aston Villa. And then draw Merseyside derby. You know, they want to prove a point and they want to show that why they are champions. And yeah, so the next big incident in the game was Richarlison getting sent off, which to me, listen, he's committed to the ball like any player is in a derby, what they should be. And especially at that time in the game as well, he's probably frustrated because he didn't have much to do in the game. But at the end of the day, it was just stupid, wasn't it? Like, I just don't get why he had to go in like that. Thiago didn't have to. I can't remember if the ball was nearer to Thiago, so he didn't have to stretch. But still, it's just very rash, and he just lost his head. And he could have easily broken Thiago's leg. Like, I'm not saying Richarlison meant it. I don't think he does. He's a bit of a narc, and you need that on every side, I feel. You know, like when Chelsea had Diego Costa, and then stuff like that you need of narc in your squad. But I don't think he's intentionally a bad person. I don't think he wants to hurt someone. And I think Thiago's Brazilian as well, so he doesn't want to hurt someone he probably knows and plays with. Yeah, it was just annoying because I was thinking, there's a few minutes we need to hold on. We don't really need to be down to 10 men against this Liverpool side. They're going to be pushing all the way to the final second. And we're going to be missing you for 3 games, which is vitally disappointing. And, he's an important squad player. He's one of our best players. But he's so important to us in what we do. And not just on the ball, off the ball. And it's just very disappointing now that he's going to miss 3 games. And hopefully we won't regret. Hopefully we don't, hopefully we won't see the effects of that in the next 3 games. But yeah, it was definitely a red card. So, and then the moments where I thought I've seen it all, but I really haven't with Everton. There's always something else, and Thiago does a no look pass, and he played great. Obviously, like I said, I didn't watch fully into the game, but I did know. I could tell that Thiago was playing great, and he was just pinging the balls everywhere and doing what he can do, and that's why Liverpool went all out for him. So he does a no look pass, and Mane just slides it into Henderson, and Henderson scores. And to be fair, I'm really glad the goal got ruled out, because Pickford, again, that he can make all the great saves, but I don't even think that was that hard to save, and I don't understand why he put one arm out as well, where I feel like it's better to put 2 hands out. I don't know how it works with goalkeepers. I'm not a goalkeeper myself. I just feel it's a bit odd, and I think that's why possibly the ball spun off his hand and went it away. But it had to be a mistake from him again, and it could have cost us 3 points. It could have cost us a point, and it could have, again, he's involved in a situation in the Liverpool game where we've lost points. We all know about the Origi goal, and he just seems to be doing it again and again. He seems to have an influence in any game, and that's a bad influence. He really needs to screw his head back on. It's getting to the point where we're going to start turning, like, we're just going to be dead negative towards a player, like with Arsenal, with Xhaka. We've seen how that worked out. So obviously he's playing well for them now, but I just don't think Pickford's going to change, and I think we're just not going to accept that. We've had decent goalkeepers over the years, you know what I mean, and what can you do? But never should have been offside. I watched it back, and I stood there with me hands on my head, just going, why? Like, why is it always us? Why can't we have an amazing moment like that against Liverpool? Why do we have to be on the losing side every single time? Doesn't matter how well we play against them, we don't seem to get any sort of joy in a Merseyside derby, and it's been 10 years, and it's just an absolute joke that we haven't beat them. Especially the teams they've had in the past 10 years. Some of them have been great teams, some of them have been the Roy Hodgson kind of teams, like the Koncheskis and the Ngog and other players like that, and we still couldn't beat them. Well, I think Ngog played when we did beat them. Oh, I can't remember. So we're very fortunate to get away with that. And like I said, when I first seen it, I thought they was checking VAR, and I was going, there's absolutely no chance. I don't know why they're looking. I don't know why it's taking this long. And I don't even think the Liverpool fans when I in the room, wasn't even bothered. Like, they could see VAR. they looked for a second and got, nah, it's definitely onside. And they all just carry on celebrating anyway. And I just thought, well, I'm just expecting now it's going to say, you know, goals allowed, it's onside. And I couldn't believe when I seen offside. I was like, I celebrated like it was a goal. I couldn't believe it. I was so happy just to see their faces made up, buzzing. I've seen it so many times, and just for the, it was just amazing just to see their faces completely drop and basically cry in front of me and get really angry and frustrated, which I understand. But from an Everton point of view, it was nice to see for a change, because it's always been, especially in the past 10 years, it's been very miserable, dark times when watching Everton Liverpool in front of anyone, because it's always us having the buckets at the end of the game with a bunch of tears in it, with a load of tears. Yeah, so obviously the game shortly finished after that, and yeah, we got a point, and I'm buzzing about it because, I mean, I'm annoyed. I want to win, but based on that performance, we don't deserve to win, and we shouldn't have won. And like, at the end of the game as well, we had a ball in as well, and I think Dominic Calvert-Lewin got to the end of it, and then Adrian saved it. But you never know. All someone had to do was get in front of Adrian. He could have knocked it in. We could have easily just won that game. Imagine that happened. Liverpool fans would be going off their heads. I think they'll just say, we're not playing next week. We've had enough of VAR. But no, listen, 2-2. I'm hoping our performances go back to where they was before this game. I'm hoping that we do improve. And I hope that we get the 3 points against Southampton as well, because it'll just carry on the momentum that we have at the moment. And I feel like other teams are struggling around us. Probably apart from Aston Villa, who nicked a late win tonight. But I can't see, they have got the depth in squad to, I can't see them finishing very high this season. I feel like the other teams will start picking up points and that. But they're doing very well themselves. But yeah, you just don't know what's going to happen against Southampton, because they've got the likes of Danny Ings, and they've just, you know, I'm not saying Chelsea's defence are any good at all, but, you know, they still come back and they drew 3-0 with Chelsea, and, you know, they've got some decent players in the squad, and they know how they want to play, and they've got a good game plan, and it'll be a tough game for us. But I believe in our squad at the moment. I like the look of Godfrey tonight. I thought last night, yesterday, let's say. Yeah, Godfrey looked, you know, solid. I heard that he had a few wobbly moments when he first come on, but after that he looked solid. So hopefully it'll be a good signing for us. And yeah, just have to wait and see. But yeah, it's a big shout out to Lucas Dean, who played fantastic yesterday. You know, he's a really good defender, Lucas Dean. Like, when he's really onto it, he's there's not many players who are good defensively and attackingly when it comes to left backs and right backs or wing backs. He's definitely one of them. He's very consistent. Obviously everyone has their off days and that, which he does, but that goes for every player. Michael Keane played fantastic as well, and James Rodriguez I wouldn't say he had loads to do in a game, but when he did have the ball, he just looked dangerous. He just looked like he can pick a pass out of nowhere, and he's just a difference maker for us. And like I said, at the start of the game as well, I heard that Van Dijk got into Calvert-Lewin and Rodriguez. Now, I don't know if that's see, you can have an intention of getting players out the game. You don't want to injure them, but you just want them out of the game, or you just want to show them that they're there. So that's possibly what he was trying to do. But I think Virgil van Dijk understood the threat them two are, and they are our biggest threats at the moment. And, you know, just shows that these type of players, like Calvert-Lewin, really wasn't in much of the game, but he scored. And that's the main thing. That's all I really want him to do, is score. So yeah, he did his job. But yeah, I'm made up with the point. I'm made up with the start of the season. It's been fantastic to watch. I really do want the fans back, but at the same time, Everton can't perform in front of their own fans. or away. They soil under pressure. So I don't even know if that sounded right or that even makes sense. But basically, they can't handle pressure. No matter what players you got in there, they just can't seem to handle pressure. So maybe no fans in the stadium is the best for us. But yeah, fantastic start to the season. Yeah, I'm looking. It's weird. I'm actually looking forward to every game we play. I'm looking forward to watching Everton play now. Like last season, I was dreading every single week. But yeah, let's just see what happens this season. I hope that we have a magical season. I'm hoping that we do achieve things which I have not seen before. If it's like qualifying for the Champions League, that'd be fantastic, because the last time we did, we got knocked out before even reaching it. It was like a qualifying stage. So it'd be nice to get into the Champions League. You never know with the league. I'm not saying we will win the league, but you just never know. I've seen that many things happen in football. You just never know, but I highly doubt it. I'm 99% sure that we won't. I'm just hoping that we get a top 6 finish. I'll be really happy with that. I like to be up there amongst the big boys again, you know what I mean? Because we've been hiding for too long. And yeah, you know, I'm just looking forward to the Southampton game now. So yeah. Oh, also, I'd hope that we can win a cup as well. So I'm really thinking the League Cup this year, or the EFL Cup, whatever it's called, is our best chance to win a trophy. And I nearly say this nearly every season. For some reason, I don't know why, because some of our squads haven't been that great, but I just always have the hope that other teams who get knocked out and that, I feel like the path is clearer for us to go and win the cup, and then we seem to lose to like West Ham or something. So yeah, but let's just hope that we can, you know, end the trophy drought, and hopefully we can finish in a strong position this league. You know what I mean? Right. I know I've stumbled a lot this video. I know I've made no sense at times, but it's my first video. There's no cuts, there's no new takes. It's just one take. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed. Maybe I'll try and make this video shorter next time. And maybe I should just watch the game before doing a review and make it easier for myself. But yeah, I'll probably see you next week for the Southampton game. I might do a pre-match review. Who knows? See how I feel. But yeah, right. See you later.